Right, it's finally time to take the VXR on another track day.
And on this track day, I'll be scaring my dad.
That's a moment.
Steady on. It's fun though, isn't it?
Chasing down a 400 horsepower R53 Mini Cooper S.
He's gone. Where is he? Well, flat shifting down the straight with flames coming out.
Flat shifting all over the shop. And making really good use of the ECU Master standalone ECU traction
I'm being
control.
thrown out my seat, I need buckets. I know, you do. You actually need bucket and harness. Don't want to be in third.
Oh, and braking my M32 gearbox, to nobody's surprise. In this video, I'm going to show you all the prep and some laps with my dad, now that the car's finally fixed and mapped and ready to go again. Then in the next one, you'll get to see my driver coaching with racing driver James Black. And some proper fast laps following my mate's Mini.
Just throwing my helmet and gloves in the boot. Yesterday, I packed 2 sets of sockets, an impact, electric ratchet, torque wrench, wheel breaker bar thing, and I went to Halfords and picked up a jerry can because the car's mapped for momentum, and with it being on track, I'd like to have the same fuel that it was mapped on to top up with and not have to pay £2 a litre for petrol at the track. So, that jerry can, bungee cords which TK Maxx was selling, surprisingly, to strap it to these tie-down points. So I'll fill that up in the morning before I go to the track at like 5 AM. Then if I lift the floor up, I've packed jumper cables, which I probably won't need, then bungees, zip ties, I've got spare oil, spare brake fluid, bleeding kit. I do have a pair of towing eyes now. When the engine got forged, Rusty Autos took my towing eye out to take the bumper off, and I can only presume forgot to put it back in the car, so I had to order a new one. I ordered 2. I was planning to put one of them on the rear, but I would have to cut a hole in this to leave it on, because this is the cover for the towing eye, which probably can't get off right now one-handed, so that I can leave a towing eye attached on the back as well, just for convenience, the track days, not having to take them off and put them on. This goes in, I believe it's a left-hand thread. You need a towing eye fitted before a track day, because if you go into the gravel you don't want to be screwing it in when they're towing you off. I just have to then fiddle about and get this thing detached so it doesn't go flying off on the motorway or snap or scratch the paint dangling about, basically. So I've got a snowboarding lesson tonight from like 7 until 10. I'll be back from that by about 11. Pretty much go to sleep at midnight and then have 5 hours sleep and do an hour-and-a-half drive to Cadwell to get there early enough for sign on and everything. So it's going to be a stressful 24 hours, but hopefully it's worth it and the VXR survives the track day. It's not too awful of a finish. Bit off to the left, but I didn't want to cut into that clip, so maybe I could have got away with using the smaller hole saw, but it don't look half bad. I could maybe put black wrap behind it so the blue doesn't stand out so much, even if it's a bit of a hack. These are probably like a tenner, so if I wanted to redo it, I doubt it would be hard to get a new one. That's a bit better, with most of the blue covered up with a tiny little bit of black wrap. Nice easy fit. Car is a bit grotty. I'd like to have it clean for track day photos, but absolutely zero time. I also grabbed this gadget last minute off Amazon, which is a USB-C charger that goes on a Makita battery, because I'll be taking these with me anyway, so this can act as a portable power bank now. And the battery should last ages, because 3 amp hours at 18 volts is a hell of a lot more than 3 amp hours at 5 volts charging a phone. And it has a torch built in. So these are like 15 quid, worth having for the track, just for keeping the phone charged if you don't have a spare port in the car. Probably check back in at like 5, 6 AM tomorrow when I'm about to hit the road. As you've seen, I've got petrol. It's 20 to 6, so let's get on our way to Cadwell and hopefully we don't miss sign on.
I don't know where this video of someone allegedly testing launch control at 6 AM on an empty road in the countryside came from, but had to throw it in there. The hour-and-a-half drive from Sheffield to Cadwell went pretty smoothly, and the sun started to come up just as we were getting towards the track.
So we're here. We made it. Them last roads were awful. Getting back on the main road, I spun fourth at 30 mile an hour. Like, what the heck? It's been so good, and you just get within like 5 miles of the circuit, and it all goes to pot. Fingers crossed, it's plenty dry for us. So I've now got to get signed on, get the car noise tested, which will be fun because it's very close to 105 dB static, according to my own testing. Meet up with the guys, see if they're here. Don't know if they are yet. Hopefully it's a fun day and we don't have any incidents.
When I arrived, the paddock was empty, but it soon filled up, and before long, with a bit of a delay, we were ready to go.
Right then, it's time for sighting laps. Start was delayed by half hour. Do you want to go first? I have no idea where I'm going. You've been before.
I'm just going to let some people go.
Right. Start was delayed by half hour, waiting for the track to defrost. These guys have switched to their wet tyres because the slicks were all like plastic instead of rubber. So let's get a shift on, see how we get on. Already you can tell this is going to be a fun section. Try and stay off the curves today because they'll be even icier than the track. I can see why you're not allowed to overtake down there. Now this has got to be the coolest thing on any circuit in the UK. However, this car doesn't handle well enough to go that fast around it. Certainly if you watch like Danny DC2 and that, he's flying when he's racing in his little EG, which weighs a lot less than this, has good suspension, has good tyres. These PS4S's are on the way out. They might last today and few more miles on the road. Alright, so that's it for the sighting laps. We made it. We survived.
My dad turned up after the sighting laps and met us in the paddock. Today he'll be coming along for some passenger laps to see how it compares to the Porsche experience we got him for his birthday. So with Dad in the car, it's time for our first proper laps of Cadwell Park.
Tyres have cooled down so it won't grip quite as well for the first lap.
As you can see, at the start of the day I was lifting pretty early on the straight, barely touching 100 mile an hour, and then turning in here at like 60, staying almost off the power up the hill, and not really pushing this at all because you can't really see round the corners or over the brow of the hill to see what's coming up. Stay tuned and you'll soon see the massive improvement after tuition gave me a bit more confidence in this section.
Plenty of power and a bit of brakes and that apex. Oh, we can see them look coming downhill now and we're miles behind. 120.
enough time to brake for that.
That's when you're coming off, and that little one's when you want to be powering up.
Yeah, so one's for turning in, the other's the apex, which you want to get close to, and then you power on generally after the apex as you straighten up, so you want to point at the exit to the corner and power on quite soon but smoothly. So that's an apex. That's a turn in. We've got so much torque we can do most of tracking fourth. That's a moment. That's a moment.
Steady on.
It's fun though, isn't it? Even when that happens. Just have to be careful, but it's a very stable car. Just there's camber through that whole section. See, you get comfortable, you find limit, and then you dial it back a bit. I've never had this that sideways.
You know, because that's just what your passenger wants to hear after you've had them sideways at 40 mile an hour.
Messed my gears up there, I wanted fourth, I think I were in fifth. I'm not going round, I'm having a cool down lap as well. We'll let this Lotus round. What are your thoughts then?
Yeah, it's good
For
fun
YouTube.
when you get on a good track like this.
Oh yeah, well, Three Sisters was the best option for your Porsche Experience Day, but it's an Experience Day. It just doesn't compare, does it?
Yeah.
You think you could get hooked?
I could, but I don't know if I want to spend all that money on it.
You can do it cheap, or even come as a passenger and share a car. You'd have to be very careful.
Show you how it's done.
Oh yeah, Dad knows best.
You can have blue lights on them.
Yeah. They'll put you some blue lights on top. Technically not illegal, is it? If you're on a circuit. I don't think officials would be very happy though, because you'd probably confuse all of the drivers.
Well, police cars, Batmobiles and all sorts going around that Three Sisters.
Ah, I know, but that's not a public, like, track day, is it?
After about 20 minutes, I brought the car in, let it cool down, and then we were ready to head out for our second session of the day, when something interesting happened.
A yellow flag at top of the hill, so someone might have had a bit of an incident. Yeah, see him in grass?
Well, not on off-road.
Yeah. So he'll probably rejoin in a second. Yeah. Understeer. Very slippy on inside. I really hope it dries out a bit more, but it's just damp.
We're now leaving the brake-in and lift-in a lot later, until almost as late as possible at the end of the straight. Still not really confident enough to be on the power all the way up here, but we'll get there.
really don't have to push it that hard round here to have fun. It's probably a good thing, because you don't want to push it that hard round here. They're waiting for us. Brilliant. We can have some a train of sends. Watch how fast this Mini moves when we get to a straight. It's unbelievable. And them two both handle better than this. So we'll take it as permission.
Gooseneck is another corner that we're still going super steady round, but that's all about to change with the tuition up next.
Astra's clearly too fast because we've lost them all.
With another session drawing to a close, and unfortunately only one lap chasing the Mini and the Civic, it was time to head back into the pits, where I noticed something a little concerning. In 2 sessions and maybe 9 or 10 laps, we'd used half a tank of fuel almost. So it was time to whip out the jerry can, brim the tank, and then we'll be ready to get back out there for tuition after lunch. However, that can be in part 2 of the video, so make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and comment if you enjoyed the video. Maybe let us know what track you'd like to see next, and if you think it's a good idea to let my dad drive the car next time. That's all for this video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.